the best in the world.
What I'd like to have right now.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Because I was right when I was cool.
Are you ready?
It doesn't matter!
I said, are you ready?
I'm a sexy beast, baby! I was up all night!
And I'm
Welcome back for the second week in a row of the For Life podcast.
Two times.
We're going strong here. Let's see if we can keep it up.
Two times.
Johnny Mundo just won the Lucha Underground title on this week's Lucha Underground. I'm watching.
Oh, okay. All
Just
right.
beat a Sexy Star. I mean,
Okay.
despite this being spoiled about a year ago.
Yeah.
But
Sexy Star was actually whatever the week of Crossroads, the week that WWE was in Jersey.
Yeah.
He was in town.
Sexy Star?
Yeah.
That's a chick.
Yeah. Oh no. Then who? No. Who? No. Ricky Star? Is that it?
I don't know who Ricky Star is.
Somebody with a star that's a guy was in town. I thought it was somebody from Lucha Underground. Anyway, Sexy Star. Okay. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, Johnny Mundo's now the champion.
Fantastic. Congratulations, John Morrison.
Or Johnny Nitro, Johnny Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your host, the legit Bosch, a.k.a. Vanilla is the hair guy. Arch nemesis of Chocolate is the bald guy.
Correct. I am Cheyenne Ortiz, broadcast journalist extraordinaire, a.k.a. Chet Stedman, a.k.a. Cream of Wheat, a.k.a. Half an Onion Bagel, a.k.a. Carl. That's Carl with a C, not a K. Carl.
All right. So, where do you want to start this week? You want to recap the shows or out of the ring stuff?
Well, we talked out of the ring stuff. What?
Meaning
What?
Shit that wasn't on TV, like behind the scenes stuff.
To be honest with you, I have something that I actually was saving for the show.
Sure,
I thought maybe we could. I heard of it. I don't really do these things. Okay, let me just put this out there. It was one of those like dirt sheet YouTube videos.
Uh-huh.
And the headline was why John Cena is mad at WWE.
Okay.
I personally have not seen anything about this on the internet. I have not seen any stories. I'm gonna
wait before you continue. Jay just texted me saying that he listened to the podcast and just watched the Dave Schultz slap the shit out of John Stossel.
Yes.
And then he mentioned you talking about the pierogi and empanadas.
Yes. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. Jay is a devoted fan. I have not heard anything about John Cena being upset with the WWE. I literally go on the same dirt sheet website I have since I was 15 years old.
Okay.
Because they kind of get it from everybody. They might get it late, but they get it from everybody, and then they just claim that they came up with it. And most of the other ones have a lot of pop-ups and are hard to navigate, I find. It's my opinion. And plus now with the advent of the internet, all you need to do is Google and you'll see it somewhere. I did hear some rumblings from two people that I actually know, one in the business, one up in WWE, that I did hear some rumblings about the Undertaker being upset with WWE. I did hear that.
About the result of the match?
I heard that he wasn't crazy about the Shane angle and stuff, and which I kind of didn't believe because I knew that they were super close in real life.
Yeah. I mean, you can still be super close and not be happy with the way something turns out.
That's
just
true.
Creatively
that is
wise,
true.
Nothing against the other person.
That's true. And so anyway, I heard the Cena thing, and I listened to the video. So supposedly this is the story. As a matter of fact, I think What Culture put it up.
Mm-hmm.
The story goes that Cena is supposedly upset about Goldberg being back.
Okay.
Not that Goldberg is back or anything like that. It's not that he doesn't like Goldberg, but supposedly it was the way that he found out about it. Cena feels like he's a top guy there, and instead of being told directly, he kind of had to find out, I'm presuming, in a public forum. That part was a little gray in this little dirt sheet video.
Well, I feel like it leaked online prior to it. I think it was I think JR was the first one to actually, like, JR was the first reliable person I heard mention it.
Correct, and most times out of 10, when JR starts fantasizing, it some reason comes true.
Yeah.
Plus, he's also
not going to throw things out there that wouldn't happen. Or he'll throw stuff out there and he'll throw it as like a hypothetical, but he won't say like, hey, there's rumblings between Goldberg and WWE, or they're looking to.
Correct.
Like, he was the first person I heard say.
But there
Brock
have been
and
a few
Goldberg
posts this year that he puts up.
Mm-hmm.
But there have been a few posts this year that he puts up that he's like, I've heard from my WWE sources. Like, there are times when he's like, no, I heard this from somebody.
Yeah.
So, the Goldberg thing had been talked about pretty much for years, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, since the video game announcement came. Everybody kind of had the idea of...
Well, pretty much every guy that's been in the game has ended up debuting or coming back.
Right. And then everybody knows it was a matter of when versus if.
Yeah.
And again, like you mentioned,
Warrior came back in, Sting.
Exactly. The
Goldberg.
action figures in the games are gateways for guys to come back.
And who knows if Macho would have came back, because he did that commercial for that All-Stars game shortly before his passing.
Well, the Macho Man deal was different, because I actually had to explain this to Mike Morgan. Macho came back because of Mattel. Remember, Mattel signed that Macho Man deal separately first.
Yeah.
So when the guy at Mattel, I think Bill McKenna was still was the head then, the one that's in charge now. Mm-hmm. When Bill McKenna inked the deal with Macho Man, or whoever was in charge of the Mattel deal, that was when Ledesma and Brian Williams over at THQ at the time were like, I wonder if we can get Macho. Mm-hmm. So they kind of made him the spokesperson for All Stars, and DDP swears up and down that if Macho would have been alive, he would have been on the Hall of Fame stage because he was starting to come out.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like you mentioned, Warrior, Sting, Tom, Vic, Harry, they all come back. And everybody's saying that Kurt Angle is supposed to be the guy for next year.
I've heard that too.
So with the Goldberg thing, supposedly Cena was not crazy about how he found out, which was apparently in a public fashion as opposed to, hey, John, just giving you a heads up, we got Goldberg back.
Was it like some Q&A?
I'm not sure, but supposedly he was upset about it. So this kind of goes back to his argument with The Rock, I'm guessing. He feels as if the money that they're paying Goldberg, because Brock's getting $6 million now, not $5.
Okay.
He's gone from 3 to 5 to 6. All numbers that we've said on this show before, correct? Mm-hmm. He's gone from 3 to 5 to 6. Cena feels that the money they're paying Goldberg, which, according to the video I listened to, was, I think the guy said upwards of $5 or $6 million, which I think is too much for Goldberg, but I know Brock is making that much. But anyway.
I guess the money would that cover like merchandise and...
No, because remember, merch is separate. You get your pay.
So he's getting that for a minute and a half match and then being in the Rumble?
Well, remember, he's getting money from 2K, and then he's getting whatever money Vince is paying him.
Yeah.
Plus the royalties for the DVDs and the T-shirts.
And they still haven't made up a Mattel figure of him yet, right?
No.
Oh, so
but
that's probably coming next
year. Because if I'm not mistaken, well, I'll put it to you like this, because I said this to my other action figure friends. I think it's funny that Ric Flair, they recently came out with Defining Moments Ric Flair for WrestleMania 24. That was supposed to come out January 2017. Mm-hmm. I think it's a little funny that action figure got bumped up 2 months in advance.
Yeah.
So if you just happen to...
Probably
I honestly think
him with the U.S. and heavyweight title.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Because action figure collectors are drooling at the mouth for a WCW United States title.
Yeah. And that'll be
So
like the perfect one. Because there's only really two Goldberg outfits. There's the WCW and then the black and white WWE.
Correct.
And then if they start coming up with like him in like leather jackets
and the setup, the marketing setup is this. Plus, as an action figure guy, if they come out with Goldberg in the first quarter of 2017, because they already have the mold and the colors and the prototype and the decals, they come out with Goldberg first quarter of 2017. Then they come out with the Hollywood Hogan figure if Hogan comes back for Mania. It's win-win. Mm-hmm. Everybody makes money. The wrestlers, the WWE, and the action figures. So anyway, Cena feels that the money that's going to Goldberg can go to the guys they already have.
Yeah.
That's basically his argument. And supposedly, Cena is against doing the Taker match, because that's what Vince wants to do and has been wanting to do it for about 4 years. As far back as I know, as far back as WrestleMania 27... You think that has to do
with like Taker's age and condition?
I don't know why. I can tell you that at one point Cena was going to break the streak.
Creatively wise, he doesn't want to beat Taker. Maybe since Taker already lost.
I know that when he first got offered, when Cena first got offered, he didn't want to break the streak. Because the idea was for Cena to get the match and then the streak.
Yeah.
And he turned it down, that I'm aware of, once.
Or what do you think? Or maybe they'll put him and Taker. I mean, they'll put Taker and AJ, and Taker wins the belt, and then Cena goes after the 16th title and Taker.
That actually is one school of thought on the table. Mm-hmm. Because the idea is, if and when Cena breaks the record, it is in fact supposed to be WrestleMania.
As it should be, if it's a big moment.
Whatever WrestleMania it is.
And I think that's the appropriate place to do it. Now that Cena doesn't really have much left to accomplish, and that's his one big accomplishment left, it should be at Mania. And Flair should be there. That just kind of happened.
Yeah. I agree with that as well.
And from the way Flair talks about it, I know he will, because he's all for Cena tying his record.
Yeah, I mean, number one, if the streak can be broken, the belt record can be broken. Number two, and I'm not shitting on anybody, the reason the record is the way it is for Cena is because in 2011, they started mixing the World and WWE title reigns together.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because, there's only one company. It's not like it was before, and there's NWA title reigns that WWE is not going to recognize, on Rick's end. And plus, for Rick to be recognized as a 21-time world champion basically puts anybody behind the 8 ball in terms of never breaking that.
At this point, it would be too late because they've already been pushing that 16 for the last almost 20 years.
For them to come out of nowhere and say, hey, Cena, you broke the record, but the record's actually 21, would be ridiculous.
Yeah, because then I got to do it 5 more times.
Yeah. So Cena feels that the money they're paying Goldberg can go to the guys that are already there.
Okay.
And supposedly he was supposed to come back in December at the MSG house show. Now Cena is saying that he will not be back for that. So now Vince has put the creative team on a challenge like, hey, listen, pitch me ideas for The Undertaker for WrestleMania. Pitch me who you think would draw a match, a good match with The Undertaker, and so on and so forth. So that's basically...
So we all know that this means it's going to be Braun and Taker.
I know Braun and Taker was on the agenda last year, and supposedly when...
Well, last year he wasn't getting any... I mean, the push he's gotten this year, had Taker been like 10 years younger, that would have been the Taker program. Somebody to dominate that way for a couple months.
Remember, when the internet found out that it was going to be Braun, there was a backlash, and it freaked Vince out, and then it turned into that freak angle with Shane, which was great.
So like,
and yeah, you're absolutely right. If it was 10 years ago, if this was 10 years ago in Chicago, yeah, this would have been either Mark Henry Taker or Braun Strowman Taker.
If Taker's had feuds with fucking Heidenreich and and Giant
Ugh,
Gonzalez.
why did you remind me of that one?
Oh, because I was watching Survivor Series 2004 the other day because
Okay.
one of the podcasts I listened to reviewed it. But
Didn't we watch that together, me and you?
2004?
The big tag match with Orton's team and Triple H's team. Didn't we watch that together?
We might have. Timing wise, we probably would have.
That's when the edge push starts, right?
It was and then I know Maven was on that team for some reason.
Which I still don't know what his finisher was. I used to get on your sister about that all the time. Your sister liked Maven. I still don't know what his damn finisher was. It's either the drop kick or a roll up. I never saw the son of a bitch end the match with a finish. I don't know what it is. This day. Maven, if you're listening, because I know you're a New Yorker now, which blows my mind, please write into us. What is your finish?
I can stop by that bar if you would like.
Yeah, please. He's only done one indie booking in like 10 years. Good Lord. But I heard that dirt-wise. I know Cody won the Global Force Next Gen title or whatever it was.
I'm just surprised they're still around. Like, I forgot to even put that in my damn notes.
Yeah, but can I ask you a question? Can you really say, like, they're around? Because it's nothing like Jeff Jarrett made it seem like it was supposed to be when we first started.
I mean, unless you bought gold in the company.
Bosch, Global Force, and no disrespect to Jeff Jarrett, who I'm a huge mark for. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
Global Force is a periodic indie company. Where is the TV? Where are these shows?
It's not even on Ring of Honor has TV. Evolve.
It's not national, which makes no sense because they're owned by a TV company. But
because it's like impossible for me to get here.
As
far as
but you can watch on their website.
Yeah, so. Evolve and all those other WWN companies like Shimmer, Shine, all those companies.
Shimmer, Shine, Sparkle, they're all there.
they're all under WWN Live, and now they're under Flow Slam. So
and they'll be on the network in 5 years.
Well, I mean, they have they have their own streaming service, so it's like
Vince will get them on the network in about 5 years.
Of course he will, but as far as like Global Force, where the hell can I even see this?
Yeah.
Like, even if I wanted to, it's like, where do I find it? Do I have to look for like fan videos on YouTube?
And now their tapings are so old that they might not even be able to use it. Because remember, Brian Myers on those first 3 tapings.
Yeah, I'm sure most of those guys are probably signed to other companies by now.
Between
Lucha Underground.
For me personally, it's like a periodic indie company.
Yeah.
I just think that Jeff Jarrett's investor friends and all his connections went to TNA. They saw what TNA became, which, entirely was not his fault. And I think they just lost interest in him in wrestling.
They had that quick buzz when they were feuding with TNA during that quick.
But that buzz didn't mean shit because those tapings, that was it.
But then it wasn't like, hey, you can watch this. Not like when ECW came into WWE, they were promoting a pay-per-view. They were telling you where you can see them, and they had that relationship with Vince, which didn't come out until years later. But at least it benefited both companies. Like, I listening to Bruce Pritchard talk about it like a few months ago. It's like it benefited WWE because they got the buzz. Whoa, they're letting these guys invade, and ECW's like, well, they were on WWE, and now they're promoting their pay-per-view. But it's like with Global Force, where the hell can I see them?
Right.
Even if I wanted to, I can't. So, yay, congratulations, Cody's a champion when nobody can see it.
Yeah, so I thought that was really, really strange. What other good... It was a holiday week, so I didn't really hear any good dirt. I saw Big Show in phenomenal shape this week. I saw that on Instagram.
Good for
he
him.
Looks incredible.
I mean, I hope that keeps his life going longer.
Yeah, same.
Kenny Dykstra getting fired from his job for being on the road.
Okay,
he doesn't have a contract with WWE yet.
I read that because you put that in the group chat. What was his day job?
I'm not even sure. I have this open here, so I can just check here. ProWrestlingSheet.com reports that Kenny Dykstra has been fired from his job working at a non-profit charity company where he was the director for missing so much work. So he was a director at a non-profit charity. He has a per appearance deal, but he's not signed full time.
Okay, but my question then becomes, he's been missing one Tuesday a week for what? Let's say 6 weeks? I mean,
has he been doing house shows or?
I know he did like one house show off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yes. Off the top of my head, yes, he did one house show. I can tell you that.
Because he's been there, what, like a month and a half, 2 months? Not even?
Closer to 2 now. Closer to 2.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Closer to 2.
Considering, I remember 10 years ago complaining, this guy's my age, and I was jealous of him that he had a spot on the roster.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, I remember a lot of us were like, really?
And dating Mickey James probably even made me more jealous. But I mean, we're the same age, so that means I think he might be like older than me by a few months. He's 30 years old, so he's still young. He's Seth Rollins is also the same age, so there's no reason why they.
Seth is 30 already. I thought he was 28.
No, Seth 86.
Oh, yep, 30.
Because I know Kenny and Seth were like the two guys that were born in my year that I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
But
and they're both with. Well, I don't know who Kenny Dykstra is now, but Kenny Dykstra had Mickey James and Seth's brother is amazing.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. When did he get let go? Because I feel like he was around for the Spirit Squad angle in 2006. Then he had that brief little feud with Flair.
2007?
8? Did he really last that long? No.
I think he did make it to 8. Yes, I think he made it to 8. I'm gonna look at him now.
I don't remember anything past the feud with Flair.
You're talking about the singles feud?
Yes.
Or the
post Spirit Squad. Spirit Squad got shipped to OVW. And he came back and he feuded with Flair where he was just Ken Doan.
He's 6'4".
So I think he was only there for maybe like a year or two. I think like if they build him correctly, he could have beaten Orton's record for youngest champion because he was still like 5 years away from Orton's age.
November 10th, 2008.
Really? He lost. Then he must have been doing like job matches.
Let me see.
Because I really like that Flair feud was early 2007. I don't remember anything after that.
Group disbanded. Feud with Flair. The 3 straight victories over Flair.
I remember they were the first two in the Rumble.
07 Rumble.
And I don't remember anything after that.
Dykstra became a mainstay on Heat, and he had feuds on Heat with Eugene and Val Venus. I remember his Heat feud with Val Venus. I actually remember that. Mm-hmm. He formed a tag team with Johnny Nitro, which I also remember, and that they split after the draft in 07. I remember that. I don't remember
anything after that.
And I remember, Wikipedia actually just said it before I did. Nitro was drafted to ECW. That's why.
Okay.
A.K.A. Morrison.
Mundo.
And then, Dykstra was on SmackDown. He lost to Chuck Palumbo when Palumbo had the biker gimmick.
I don't remember that. I think I wasn't really watching also a lot.
Oh, right. And then he was with Victoria on
screen. Don't remember that either. This was what, like 07, 08?
He worked Triple H on a singles match. Oh, wow. Check this out. After a leave of absence, he took a leave of absence in 2008 for the first half. Then he came back on an August 15th episode of SmackDown and lost to Triple H. That's a pretty big deal.
Okay.
And then in November of 08, he got canned.
Wow, so he didn't do shit for 2 years.
After Spirit Squad disbanded, they gave him the Flair feud to establish him. Because he got 2 on Flair before Flair
So if he left in 2008, then he was 22.
Correct, because he was 21. He was turning 21 during the Flair
22
feud.
that year. So he was already 22. Which is crazy.
I think his birthday, according to the internet, said March. So, yeah.
Yeah, so he's a few months older than I am.
He was 22 when he got canned, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, I saw that. Did you get any info on the Kabuki Dory Funk thing?
I think they just had like a match. Let me see. I mean, I saw Kabuki at last year's Wrestle Kingdom.
I know that if any of you like Coliseum videos, follow Mr. Coliseum on Instagram. I'm actually working on ordering something from him that I did not see in his catalog, but I highly recommend his page for nostalgia purposes, if anything else. What other... it was a holiday week. There was pretty slow dirt. The Cena thing was the biggest thing that I heard.
Yeah. Randy Orton's a father. Congratulations.
Randy Orton's a dad.
Cesaro was unhappy with that poster for the show in Switzerland.
I think it's all the work so that he can get more hype when he goes to SmackDown. That's my opinion. Because it has to happen at this point.
Oh yeah. McGregor's people said that he's willing to entertain an offer from WWE.
Yes, I read some of that.
I mean, knowing him, he'll probably charge more than fucking Goldberg and Brock combined.
I agree with that too. I mean, hey, I wonder what Floyd got the first time.
I feel like they over-exaggerated the number. Okay, there's like a little gif of them.
Floyd got the first time.
There's a
because
gif of
also
them
remember
tying
Floyd
up
already
here.
had some money. I'm willing to bet Floyd wasn't as much as we think, but he made some money.
Yeah. Okay, I found the gif of Kabuki and Dory tying up, which I'm retweeting.
Tying up, they go forearm, shot for shot, Jewel Katagi. They do it all, baby.
Yeah.
They do it all.
Okay, I found this quote from Jake the Snake from a recent interview he did. All right. Alice Cooper was absolutely talented and great. To be on that stage with over 93,000 fans, he almost passes out because it's just too much of a rush for him. It was pretty funny because he was sliding down my arms because he didn't want to fall at the end of the ring and fall forward. It was a long way down. Working with the Honky Tonk Man at the time was okay, but since then he's become a real piece of shit. You know, because
he's saying the Honky Tonk Man's a piece of shit?
Yeah. Because he's trying to buy people's names and own them. And if you try to use your name, you would have to pay him. He tried it with too many people now. He has a few names under his belt. He took the Patriot. He has the trademark registration, so now any money that is made by the Patriot, the money goes to him. He even tried to do that with my name. Can you believe that? The scumbag piece of shit also owns Jim Duggan's name. I hate to be the Honky Tonk Man when Jim Duggan gets a hold of him. It's not going to be pretty.
No way. That can't be true.
I ran into him recently and I just stared at him. The man has no balls. He just ducked his head and sucked up to some girl that was working for him at the con. I've seen it in the past where he would dress his son up and call him the Patriot and cheap the fans out of money and sell bogus Patriot stuff. It's like, come on, man. What are you? I guess that is what drunks do. I used to be a drunk, but I never did anything that dumb.
I know that Tom Brady... I like Tom. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. I know that Tom Brady has been portraying the Patriot on the independent scene for some years now. Mm-hmm. And I know for a fact, again, I hope I don't get in trouble without saying, let me not say I know for a fact. I have heard that supposedly Tom Brady does not own the rights to that gimmick.
Okay.
And I know, I have heard that Tom Brady has signed like 8x10s of the Patriot, but not him under the mask. He signed 8x10s of Del Wilkes.
Okay.
I've heard that. I didn't know anything about Honky Tonk Man owning the gimmick. I certainly didn't know anything about Honky Tonk Man owning Jim Duggan's fucking gimmick.
Does Jake usually have a... I mean, I feel like Jake's done a lot of crazy shit, but I feel like he's usually pretty brutally honest.
Yeah, Jake doesn't normally make shit up.
So I feel like for him to say, especially some crazy shit like that.
And I also know, this I think you know, I know that, according to Jake, Honky Tonk Man was a real asshole with Alice Cooper.
Mm-hmm. And I know
during
for years,
WrestleMania
prior to Jake cleaning up his life, Honky would go off on him
there was a lot of heat. They were not. There was a lot of heat.
He would really shit on Jake.
Yep, there was a lot of heat. A lot of heat between the two of them.
Yeah.
But I've heard Jake say in several interviews that Honky Tonk Man went as far as calling Alice Cooper a queer and, insulted him about his look and his makeup and how he was going to make him his bitch and all this other stuff during the WrestleMania 3 match.
Yeah.
While the match is going on and Cooper's in ringside.
Mm-hmm.
This is a rock and roll icon at the time.
Yeah.
And he's just going off.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have heard that. I don't know anything about Honky owning the Duggan name or the Patriot name. I just know what I know about the Patriot, and I'll leave it at that so I don't get yelled at.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, wow. And when was this Jake interview?
Hold on 1 second. Primo Nutmeg? What the fuck?
But when was it?
It was the 14th. So about 2 weeks ago almost.
So it was definitely recent.
Yeah.
I mean, it was news to me.
Yeah. I mean, I just saw it come up on. I was just looking for shit to talk about.
Yeah. It's news to me.
I'm trying to see. Scott Hall said in an interview that he would love to bring back managers. Like cool managers.
Yeah, that Scott has been saying for a while.
Yeah,
and
he was saying that he would like to manage his son, especially because his son's bigger than him, so he can get away with it.
He's been saying that he's been wanting to manage his son, and Scott Hall has actually been wanting to do commentary for a little while.
Yeah.
From interviews that I've seen. I think that'd be great for him to be a manager.
Mm-hmm.
The commentary, I'm not gonna say yes or no. I've never heard him. I mean, Scott's an actual talker.
Yeah.
I would be more worried of Scott like using wrestling terms and stuff,
mm-hmm.
which Vince obviously hates.
Yeah.
And Vince is very big on the commentator. Believe it or not, I don't know if anybody's read any of our listeners read the Reddit article that leaked. That pretty much is like the WWE handbook.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I saw it a while ago. Yeah.
Vince wants the announcers to basically sound smarter than the viewer. He basically likes when the announcer is the expert. Not to say that Scott Hall is dumb, because he really isn't. He's like one of the most intelligent wrestlers ever.
Yeah.
So is Kev.
Yeah, both of them.
But he's so laid
I feel
back.
like the whole clique is...
Yeah. He's so laid back that he might not come off as intellectually superior.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Like I feel like it's the same. Like particularly with Hall, Nash, and Kid. I feel like all three of them have that laid back. I just smoked a joint demeanor.
Correct.
Yeah, because I mean, I listen to, like, X-Pac has a podcast. He also sounds really laid back, but when you listen to them talk, they're really smart.
Yeah, no, they're all super duper intelligent.
They're kind of like, you know?
Yeah, they're just as chill as possible.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they're all very, very intelligent. Again, like especially Kevin Scott.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be cool. And also like being in the Indies, you really know that managing is a lost art.
Yeah.
Anybody can really do it, especially on the Indies.
I mean, I feel like also it's they're not unique like they were back in the day. Like pretty much everybody now is trying to emulate Bobby. It's like cowardly, talking shit.
I agree. The only one, and this is not because I'm part of that team, the only one who, to me, stood out and is a genuine manager and is a mixture of all the great managers from the 80s, because you can tell in his act, it's 80s managerial heat to the T, is Mike Lewis from Ace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Mike Lewis, I mean, there's nothing that man hasn't done as a manager. The guy is phenomenal.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Instant heat magnet. Garners attention, gets you hating him and his clients.
Yeah.
Versus other managers that I've seen. Yeah. It's just a ripoff. Anybody could do it. But also wrestling has kind of become a little bit more accessible too.
Yeah.
I remember growing up, like, it wasn't like you can just go and be in the business. Versus now that I'm in the business, and I feel like I still, to this day, kind of try to earn my keep, my stands. Like, anybody could do it, you know? So, it's tough. But I would love for managers to come back. You know, I would love for managers to come back. I think it's a lost art. And if managers were to come back to WWE, shoot, I might need to reevaluate commentary. You know? But,
I feel like what was cool about the managers back in the day is, like, people thought, like, okay, I can't kick his client's ass, but I can definitely kick Bobby Heenan's ass. Like,
I agree, and then
if Andre's not around, I can definitely take Bobby, or like, I can definitely take Jimmy Hart. You know,
right.
So I think also the problem now is also.
But we did get to a point, Bosch, where there were too many.
Yeah, but then I also feel like now a lot,
because at one point
the wrestlers becoming so, like, the average wrestler being a lot smaller than they were 20 years ago.
That's a great point. Great point.
Yeah. Like, it's if I wanted to be a manager, I would have the same issue that DDP had managing the Freebirds, where he towered over the guys he was managing. Yes, that's a great observation. Literally, until you said that, I never thought of that. Yeah.
Excuse me. I should get dropped. DDP is much taller than Michael Hayes. How would you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess also just the perception from the viewer.
Even though if you look at, like, the way in the late 80s, early 90s, the way the Freebirds were presented, Page did have the look. He was just too fucking tall.
Yeah.
You know, it was that early 90s, you know, hard rock, and DDP was all of that at the time.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's why like, knowing that I wouldn't be able to wrestle, that's why I'm kind of stuck where I can't pursue, like, being a manager, because I would, like, when I go to indie shows, I tower over. Even at WWE events, I'm taller than a lot of the guys.
I think,
like, kind of like a Scott Hall situation where if he's managing Cody, who's a lot taller than him, but he's probably going to be taller than whoever Cody's fighting.
I think, believe it or not, you would have to. And then again, the connection that we have is very different. You would have to manage me. Because it would be like...
That would be like a Diesel Shawn.
Exactly. The act would have to be an oxymoron.
I would have to be the bodyguard rather than the manager.
Right. The act would have to be that oxymoron.
Yeah.
That's what, you know, because you, as a talker, you know, you're great, especially when you're not thinking about it. Yeah. You're awesome. And I definitely think you would be a fantastic manager. You know, I still say you can wrestle. That's my opinion. Now, you're a little older now, you know, but if you're beating people up in UFC fights, you know, and shit,
between my back and my knees, it's not happening.
If you're beating people up in UFC fights, then you can at least give wrestling a whirl. But you know, I totally understand that. Mm-hmm. But it is a lost art. I did see a really good manager, and he was like super old school. I saw this guy called The Master. That was literally his name. I went to a charity show for Veterans Day. It was Crowbar with, I can't remember, well, breaking kayfabe, but it was his wife. I can't remember what her name was, her gimmick name was, and the manager was The Master. And he was super cool.
Yeah.
He was super cool. And then Ace, El Profe has a great presentation in terms of the whole devil thing. That's just super over the top.
Yeah.
You know, with the presentation to it.
I mean, I feel like even, like, listening to Jim Cornette as much as I do, and the few times I've interacted with him, like people like him just get it. Like, unfortunately, like, the few times we see Bobby, he can't really speak, so it's tough to, like, I wish I could sit down and ask him a million questions, but...
Oh, I would forget it. Forget it. Forget it, if I could.
I mean, I saw him interacting with a lot of fans this past big event.
Yeah, he was much more social, and I saw him flipping off a lot of the wrestlers, like always.
Yeah, like, compared to previous events where he's, like, the one where I met him, like, when I met him it was 4 years ago, but, like, compared to previous big events, he's usually doesn't really interact with people.
Did you see when he flipped off Buff Bagwell?
I saw him flip somebody off. I think it might have been that It might have been Buff.
I saw him flip off Bagwell, and I was wondering if it had to do with a story that him and Cornette tell.
I think he was.
Have you heard this story?
I think he was just pissed at Bagwell for fucking up my hair.
I don't think that was it, Bosch. Jesus.
By the way, shout out to my boy Dan from North Carolina. He is on my side, and he said that you were wrong for not letting me know that my hair was fucked up.
I don't know what the argument is here. Okay.
Dan, young man I met at the convention in Charlotte this past summer. He just attended the convention in the WrestleCade. He puts.
Oh, he's in Salem. He's in Salem right now.
Yeah, so he puts my photo op collection to shame. So I just want to put him out there. Right. Nice guy. One of the few wrestling fans I've met at a convention that's actually cool and normal.
Yeah. Again, I was not going to tell Raquel from TNA, hey, hold on a second. Yo, Bosch, fix your hair. Come on. Again, these are celebrities here, okay? You don't put celebrities on hold. Anyway. As I was trying to say. Hello?
Yeah, I'm using your words.
I thought I lost you. I was like, did I offend him that much?
You did offend me. I am offended.
I apologize.
This is the age of being offended. I am
It is the generation of sensitivity. I know.
That was an insensitive comment. I am offended.
Go to human resources.
I am going to have everybody on the internet attack you and.
Oh, it'll be like being in a wrestling group. Anyway, never mind. Like dirt-wise, it was a pretty quiet week as far as I'm concerned. I enjoyed Raw. I thought it was cool.
I guess you want to get into Raw then?
Bases. Yeah, let's roll into it. I'm out of dirt. You got anything?
No. I wasn't sure if you wanted to put a break before Raw, but fuck it. Let's just keep going.
Well, no, let's give a... Oh, well, I tell you what. This is a great segue into a commercial break.
Sure.
Because I'm going to get it out there. I issued a challenge last week. Have you heard any response for this challenge?
I haven't. I have heard back from one of the hosts of 22 Pages Later telling us that Gigi could not do the voiceover, but I told him that I did not ask for Gigi. I asked for Abby.
Yes, we asked for Abby, all right? We've already avoided all legal issues, okay?
So we're putting it out there again.
All right.
We're not, and I don't want to have to call...
We are not asking for Gigi, all right?
We're asking for Abby.
Mostly me, but we are asking for Abby.
I got your back here. I got your back.
I know. All right? I don't want
to... If you had hair, I would tell you that it's messed up.
And it's not that I can't grow hair. Right?
No, you have hair. It's just not. You have short hair, so it can't get messed up.
Well, yeah, because nobody likes when I have my long hair, like when you first met me. I loved when I had my porn star hair. Anyway, Abby, don't put me behind the 8 ball. All right, I don't want to ask any other woman. Okay, what I'm saying is, I would love if you did the big Ed McMahon intro with that sweet voice of yours for the For Life podcast. You, not Gigi, legal obligations, contractual disputes, okay, copyright infringement. We are not asking for Gigi. We're asking for Abby. So one more time, Abby, I'm asking you very nicely, please hear me, okay? All right, I think that covers it right there.
All right, and we'll be right back.
Exactly.
I'm handsome, I'm brave, I'm strong. I'm the Mountie, and I enforce the law. You can try to run, but you can never hide. The Mountie always gets his man. I'm the Mountie. I'm handsome, I'm brave, I'm strong. I'm the Mountie, and I enforce the law.
back.
And we're back.
We can recap this week's Raw from Toronto. I haven't been drinking tonight, don't worry. So Goldberg opened the show pretty much saying he was done, but Stephanie saw him backstage at Survivor Series, told him he had one more title run in him, so he's the first person to announce that they're entering the 2017 Royal Rumble in the Alamo Dome.
This might sound very strange, but I'm surprised they didn't put up like the graphic for it on that night.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's also 2 pay-per-views before then because we have TLC next week and Roadblock End of the Line.
End of the Line.
Yes, I don't know why the fuck that's the name.
But it's the end of the line.
All right. I mean, there were brief "You screwed Brett" chants, but they kind of died out.
Yeah, which I was like, come on now.
Really?
Yeah.
New Day comes out for their tag match against Cesaro.
Which I thought was great.
I thought this was also the first time that they mentioned the Demolition record, to my knowledge.
Yes, I also said the same thing when I watched.
So that means that they're really gonna go for it.
Yep.
Like we said, it would be the Monday, the Tuesday before Roadblock End of the Line.
Before Roadblock.
End of the Line. Don't forget End of the Line.
End of the line. Yes.
So, like we said, they'll probably have... I mean, right now it looks like they're going to have a different team challenge them every week.
I didn't get that vibe.
Well, they had Cesaro this week, and then they had the Club face Golden Truth, and the winners would face them...
awesome match, by the way, I gotta say.
Yeah, the winners would face them...
That was fun.
...next week. So I feel like they're going to keep doing that, and where every week a team qualifies to face them.
You don't think they're just going to rehash the Club feud?
No, it looks like they're going to have every team face them every week.
Okay.
I mean, there's, a few weeks left before then, so maybe like 3-4 teams out of it. I mean, I got
a curveball. Do they bring back an old tag team?
Maybe.
Do they bring back Demolition?
No.
Okay.
Because I've seen them at conventions. They look really old, overweight. They're out of shape. And they're also part of the lawsuit against WWE for the concussions.
Are they part of that? I didn't know that Darso and Edie were part of that.
Yeah, I've heard that's probably one of the big reasons why they're trying to get that record on New Day.
Got it. Okay. Yep, you're absolutely right. I like the finish. I thought it just kind of showed that they're doing anything to hold on to the titles.
Yeah.
The Jericho tease with Charlie Caruso was awesome.
What about Enzo naked?
Then we have the Enzo naked segment. I thought it was great.
I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was funny.
Rusev was great. What was it that he said? What are you doing naked around my wife?
yeah, that was great. And then, of course, Enzo with the couple of haters thing.
Yeah.
Stephanie and Foley going over Sami Zayn. You could tell that, Foley did not want to put Sami Zayn against Strowman. I enjoyed Cedric Alexander versus Daivari.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one. And I thought it was a great segue to the 205 show.
Uh-huh.
Now the highlight reel. Oh, man. Let me tell you something. This segment was the greatest segment I've seen in a long time. It was done so well. I don't know about you, but I genuinely got swerved.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming.
Well, I was watching on the delay, so I started seeing people comment Roman Reigns before I saw it. So.
Okay. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great way to swerve everyone for them to agree. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, just real quick to tie into a little bit of dirt, it's old because this actually came out before we came back on the air. The rumors have been as follows, that they're going to do Owens and Reigns in some title for title matches. There were also some rumors that they were going to do Owens and Jericho splitting up for Roadblock, and then they've also been advertising Jericho versus Rollins in street fights leading up to Roadblock.
Okay.
So this is what I got out of the segment.
I mean, I'm surprised they still haven't done the... I'm surprised they still haven't done the tag match between the two teams. As far as like the Shield reunion.
I
Rollins
wouldn't
and
rule it
Reigns.
out yet.
I mean, I'm surprised. I
wouldn't-
know. I don't know if it's gonna it'll probably headline at Raw. Why is Lester calling me? It should be headlining at Raw, at least.
Webster Hall was calling you?
Lester.
Oh, Grand Moto. I wouldn't rule it out. I actually, believe it or not, think that could headline a Roadblock.
That's what I was
believe it or not.
thinking. Like, let's put it on Roadblock so that we don't have
And
to
let
see
me
the
tell you
same
why.
matches over and over.
That segment, aside from being
Well, because it's a big
entertaining-
moment to have the Shield reunite. I mean, especially
Yeah,
on the Seth Rollins end with Roman.
yeah, because they were the tag team champions.
Yeah,
The segment was
I think
extremely
people forget that
entertaining.
because they never really. Talk
Yeah,
about that.
those two were the black sheep for quite a few months. Let's keep it real.
Yeah,
The segment was very entertaining, kept all four guys very, very entertaining and looking great and credible. This is what I got out of it. Okay, we're going to go Owens and Reigns. We're going to go Seth and Jericho. And the writing was on the wall for all that. And literally when the segment was over, I said it out loud to my nephew. I said, okay, they're going to do the title feud. And this is why they're going to do Rollins and Jericho on the other card because they're already advertised for the street fight.
yeah,
So everything went to what they were advertising. Everybody got their wish.
yeah.
And then you could alternate. 1 week Jericho takes on Roman. 1 week he takes on Seth. Same thing for Owens and vice versa. They could do the tag match, blah, 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 blah. So it was a great segment. I thought everybody won in the end. Rusev and Enzo was quicker than I thought it would be. Not saying that it was a squash or anything like that, but it was quicker than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, Enzo's a little guy. To be in there with Rusev long would have been a little far-fetched.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm guessing it's going to lead to a Cass and Rusev feud.
Yeah, same.
Or do you see Cass and Enzo being one of the teams to face New Day?
Which means we'll get a Lana Enzo feud. One of the matches that I genuinely enjoyed, even though it was not that long, was Golden Truth in the club.
Yeah.
Thought it was great. Goldust looked phenomenal. So did R-Truth.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed seeing them do their thing. I didn't see Strowman and Zayn. You could chime in now.
It was pretty much he beat him down until Foley came out and stopped the match.
Really?
Yeah.
That's semi-weird.
No, I think it's to keep him strong.
Okay. And it doesn't do anything to Sammy. It doesn't make him look weak.
Well, Sammy's the underdog from the underground, so he's fine.
I caught half of the women's segment when I was tuning in. Sasha Banks came out, and then they did the challenge thing.
Yeah.
Then I caught the Nia Jax thing. And then I missed that until the ending.
Well, they said it would be the two girls, Charlotte and Sasha, next week, and they would be in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I think they're doing the. I mean, like I was saying this in the group, just like trolling, but it was more like, I bet you guys all think that Sasha's gonna beat Charlotte because it's in Charlotte's hometown and it's on Raw, and she always wins the belt on Raw. She's not gonna win the belt next week.
Yeah, I certainly don't
they're
think
setting
she's
it
gonna
up.
drop.
They're setting it up so you think that Charlotte's gonna drop it because she's already dropped it to her twice on Raw.
Correct.
And the fact that she beat Sasha in Boston, people think that they're gonna return the favor and have Sasha beat Charlotte in Charlotte.
Yeah.
God, why the hell did she name herself after her hometown?
It's great marketing, Bob.
I know.
Don't judge.
No, Charlotte's the queen. I'm not hating.
That's right. She is the queen. All right.
I'm not denying that.
Um.
And trust me, I couldn't. I was not a fan of Charlotte when she first started.
Yes, I remember.
She's improved a lot.
I remember. Trust me. And in terms of getting the heel heat, night and day from when we first started watching her, huh?
Oh yeah.
Night and day as far as I see it. What else is there? What was after that? Was that the main after that?
It was a triple threat. The winner faces Kendrick in the main event of the first 205.
Yeah, I was surprised that they
TJ,
pulled the trigger
and
on Rich
Noam
Swann already.
I mean, there's not that many guys in the division.
What is it, about 6 altogether? 7?
Probably. I mean, I know there's a concern over the new show, like that people won't stay tuned or stay in the arena.
I know that people, like workers, were upset. This came out on the dirt sheets a while back, that wrestlers were upset that they had to be in the arena an extra hour now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's already a 10, 12-hour day, so, I mean, I kind of get it and I kind of don't. I mean, it's still exposure for everyone, and it's a great way to keep everybody entertained. I guess the main guys are upset, not upset,
I thought with this show coming out that Kalisto would win the belt and bring all the cruiserweights over to SmackDown, which would have made sense, unless they want to showcase them twice. And these guys still appear on NXT.
Right.
So.
Not all of them, though. I
mean, TJ was in the tournament with Ibushi, but Swan and Cedric are pretty much regulars on. Like, they have storylines going on the show.
On NXT?
Yeah.
Really?
Cedric was feuding with my twin, and Rich Swan's teaming with No Way Jose, and they're feuding, I think, with Sanity, because Sanity came out and attacked Rich Swan, and...
Yes, I saw the No Way Jose Sanity segment on YouTube.
Yeah, and then No Way Jose came out and saved them, so it's going to be No Way Jose versus Eric Young.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So they're both in active feuds on NXT.
Okay.
And they still use Gulak and Tony Nese down there too.
Well, Tony Nese got a contract, and I'm going to presume that Gulak's got one.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been made official. Public. Yeah. I was surprised. I mean, I think Gulak's a good wrestler, but I'm surprised as far as look and personality-wise that they picked him.
Yeah, Nese did his last 4.
Because at least Nese has a pretty good look to him for his size. But
yeah, he's like a small Adonis.
I was really surprised with Gulak.
What do you mean?
I was surprised that he's lasted this long in WWE. Because he doesn't really have much of a gimmick to make up for the size. He's a great technical wrestler, but... And I enjoy watching him in Evolve, but I'm surprised.
I agree. That's as far as I'll say.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I'm a fan of the guy.
Yeah.
He
was a fair dude.
Yeah, as far as being in WWE, I didn't see it. I thought he wouldn't go past the
Merriweather, because security is a private matter.
On the Indies, he had one of my favorite.
We do not have the bandwidth to fulfill your request at present. Please try later.
He had one of my favorite indie themes for a while. I can go that far. The King of Taunt song, phenomenal. That was awesome.
I'm just gonna play it on the show to end the show. Tell it to my heart.
Who?
Tell it to my heart.
No, that's not it.
Well, that's the theme he was using in Evolve.
Oh no, he has. Gulak was coming out to. I'm not sure if it was a custom theme, but it was.
Well, he had the instrumental to Tell It to My Heart in Evolve.
His was called the King of Taunts because that was his gimmick on the Indies, and he used to team with the Master of the Lariat, DJ Hyde.
I was not aware of this.
Yep, the Master of the Lariat, DJ Hyde, and I think I should stop talking now before I say something. Just leave it at that, Shy. Yeah, but Gulak's a great technical wrestler. I'll go that far. I'll go that far. And then the main, considering, it was the night after Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Awesome main.
Yeah, it was a great match.
I'm not gonna lie, there were a couple times where I was like, "Oh shit, Seth might win."
Well, I mean, considering when you go in there expecting, okay, the title's not gonna change, it's nice to have that doubt because that's what keeps you
right.
I think that's why I lose interest in a lot of matches on Raw because I figured nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or nothing of significance will happen. So it's like, okay, it's just another match to fill their 3-hour show.
Right.
But I thought the ending was great. Jericho coming out in the Sin Cara mask.
Which supposedly he got heat for. Did you hear about that?
I just heard a clip from his podcast where he said that he has no beef with Sin Cara, and he did it as a FU to the internet that thinks they know everything, but they don't know shit.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I got that text and I was like, but that doesn't add up. As soon as I heard it.
Yeah. I mean, in reality, we don't know shit because we're not backstage to see any of it.
Exactly.
So I'm not offended. I know a lot of people. Seriously. A lot of people probably are offended. Oh my god, he talked about the internet. But
yeah, everybody takes that shit too personal, man.
I'm not there. I didn't see the fight with him and Sin Cara. I wasn't on that bus, so I don't fucking know.
For all I know, they could have played patty cake, and Roger Rabbit could have been heartbroken about it. That's it. That's all I know.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I thought it was a great main. I thought the whole mask thing was
hilarious.
Was fantastic on a Donald Trump level.
It was huge.
Yeah. He was huge. It's fantastic. I love Sin Cara. He's fantastic. You know? I thought it was great. And next week we only know that it's going to be the Club and New Day, right? Nothing else is coming out.
Charlotte and Sasha.
And Charlotte and Sasha, yes, of course. When Sasha supposedly wins the title for the 19th time. Yeah.
In Charlotte's hometown, because they always lose in their hometown, and Sasha always wins on her
That's
own.
right. I know. Why wouldn't Charlotte lose? Why can't Charlotte do the favor?
Well, it's not up to Charlotte.
Yeah, no, it is up to Charlotte, right? You know, everything's up to her. You know, Charlotte rules the world. You know? So, hey, and then SmackDown, I only saw the opening segment. You can take it away because I kind of hijacked Raw, so go for it.
No problem. I thought that was mine.
No, that's Lamar.
I keep having Lester call me that old creepy bastard.
Yep,
fuck, who shot me?
Lester.
Dre the Plug. Well, fuck you, Dre the Plug.
It's a dangerous town.
Are you in the same side? I couldn't find you in the...
I'm hidden. I'm always hidden for whenever I'm watching the network, but I'll join you. Where is the guy that I'm feuding with so I can kill him again before I go start killing you? I mean, playing with you.
Oh, real nice.
No, what did I say?
Anyways, Raw started with Shane.
You mean SmackDown, but okay.
SmackDown. So, you know what? I'm sick of you.
That's all right.
It started with Shane coming out and offering James... Well, Dean Ambrose came out with Ellsworth, and Ambrose was like, you have a surprise for Ellsworth, right? It's a contract, so you kind of ruined the surprise.
Okay.
Offered him the contract. AJ came out, challenged him to a ladder match for the contract. And Ellsworth said that if he won, he wanted a title match in the future.
Correct.
So that match was scheduled. Daniel Bryan was offended by the fact that Miz cheated to beat Sami Zayn, so he had him face Kalisto for the Intercontinental title.
That'll show him.
Yeah. So, basically, Corbin distracted the Miz, and Miz won. Dolph Ziggler came out and superkicked Miz on the stage. They announced a women's title match between Becky and Alexa Bliss for TLC.
Okay. Any steps?
Huh?
Any steps?
As of now, no. Natty was also there saying that she would coach Alexa and started quoting My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. Alright, so we'll play that then to end the show.
Okay.
They had a tag team turmoil for a tag title shot at TLC.
Oh, I love tag turmoil.
So, the Hype Bros eliminated the Ascension. Breezango eliminated the Hype Bros. American Alpha eliminated Breezango, the Vaudevillains, and the Usos. Then the Wyatts were on screen, and they said that they would face American Alpha next week, so the turmoil will be continued next week.
The Wyatts as in Orton and Wyatt?
Orton and Wyatt.
Okay, nice.
So I'm guessing they're going to win.
Nice.
The segment of the night, Dean Ambrose dressed as the Mountie.
I saw that on YouTube. It was sensational. Sensational.
So, I mean, that pretty much speaks for itself. It was a great segment.
Yeah.
The Mountie always gets his man. Shane.
By the way, when Ambrose and Ellsworth feud, it's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
Because the writing is on the wall.
So Shane pretty much, he kept kicking Ambrose out the arena, but then Shane ended up leaving anyway. Then they announced Dolph and Miz in a ladder match at TLC.
Okay.
Nikki confronts Carmella, saying that she thinks she attacked her. Then Carmella said, well, I've always taken credit for attacking you, so why wouldn't I take credit this time?
Okay.
So they're going to have a no DQ match. I still think it's going to be Eva.
A no DQ match.
Uh-huh.
So it's tables, ladders, chairs, and no disqualifications. Okay.
Oh, please don't. I already worked on those spots. We don't need another name change.
And tables, ladders, and chairs, and no DQs. My.
I already have a new UFC shit to work on this week.
Okay.
Kalisto attacked Corbin. He attacked him with a chair.
Okay.
So I wonder what that's leading to. And Ellsworth versus AJ. Ambrose came in a hockey jersey. They did the spot from Wrestlemania 10 where AJ's foot was caught in the rope and Ellsworth got the contract.
Okay.
And that was pretty much it. On Talking Smack, Bryan announced that Kalisto and Corbin would face each other in a chairs match.
Okay, go figure.
So, yeah, that was about it.
Okay. Sounds like a good SmackDown. I only caught the opener.
Yeah.
But it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and then the ECW Untold Story.
Okay, go on.
I mean, a lot of the stories we've already heard before. They bought, it was Taz, Dreamer, and the Dudleys. Pretty much the four main backstage guys that helped Heyman.
Taz's first WWE television appearance in several years.
Yeah, outside of the Dudleys DVD.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much Paul's main backstage guys that did the most work for him.
Correct.
I mean, a lot of the stuff we were already aware of from the rise and fall of ECW. Like Taz did the merchandise, they did the deliveries, Bubba booked all the buildings.
Yep.
So a lot of that stuff we already knew. At one point, Paul Heyman said that Disney was interested in purchasing 49% of the company as like one of their subsidiaries. I can't say that word.
Subsidiaries.
Thank you. For a pay-per-view company. So
okay,
that was probably the most interesting thing that was mentioned on the show. I mean, overall it was pretty good. It was like 45-minute show. Tommy Dreamer was crying when he was talking about Heyman. Made Heyman cry.
Wait, right, because they had a bit of a falling out.
Yeah, but he still said, like, he was just talking about how much he loved Heyman, and he would still do anything for him, and just, like, thanking him. I thought it was really good. I mean, if your audio situation gets figured out, I would say check it out.
Yeah. The other thing, I know the early origins of it. Little fun fact that I learned, because I actually watched the ECW library is available on the WWE Network for $9.99.
They also released the 50 oh my god moments.
Yeah, how is that? I haven't seen it.
I thought it was good, but I think considering that they were only around for such a short time, there was only so many actual moments. So a lot of it was more like angles and just kind of character focus.
Okay.
Kind of like Mikey Whipwreck or RVD's title reign or just stuff like that. I mean, I legit didn't know what number one would be going into it. What
was number one? You're not spoiling it for me.
They were when they threw all the chairs in the ring for Foley and Funk.
That was the number one, for real?
I would have gone with the mass transit, but I guess maybe they wanted to avoid talking about that situation.
Yeah, I'm actually a little...
I think the whole countdown, I was like, don't let it be one night stand.
Which I kind of could see why they would pick that.
I legit thought it was going to be one night stand until I got to the end.
Okay.
I completely forgot about that. I mean, there was some good stuff in there, but I mean, a lot of stuff I've seen before, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I've been following ECW from 99 because Cyrus and Lance Storm have a podcast, so now they're going week by week through ECW, kind of like when I'm doing with the Kevin Sullivan podcast.
Okay.
And I'm kind of mad because I kind of got ahead on that one, and they're going to wait till the beginning of the year to start the January 97 episodes, so it'll be 20 years. But it's kind of starting from when Cyrus debuted in ECW, but at least those episodes are pretty short, so it's pretty cool to go back and watch those.
I saw the first episode of Eastern Championship Wrestling TV, and literally Terry Funk.
The first act was the Public Enemy.
No, this is Eastern. This is before.
Yeah, they always say that the first act was Public Enemy.
But Paul Heyman is not booking yet.
Oh, okay, so it's still Todd.
Paul Heyman is not booking yet. It's still Todd Gordon's company.
Okay.
The one that literally is there from day one is in fact Terry Funk.
Okay.
And Eddie Gilbert is there. Eddie Gilbert and Terry Funk are kind of like the main pro and antagonist at the time. Todd Gordon, I learned, was his parents actually owned a jewelry store. I learned that through friends that actually knew Todd.
Okay.
And basically, I recommend everybody who watched the ECW special that Bosch mentioned, watch the first episode of Eastern Championship Wrestling. It's on the network. ECW literally was an indie company that made it.
Yeah.
It's like the godfather of where the indies are now.
Pretty much.
You
and,
know?
I mean, they also got into detail about the phone call, the messages to like all the guys trying to go to WCW.
Oh, with Terry Taylor and Todd Gordon? What did they say about
that? Basically, like, Heyman would borrow people's phones. Like, oh, I left my phone. I need to use. Can I just use your phone real quick? And he would go in there and, like, I guess go to, like, their recent calls and see, like, their passcodes for their voicemails.
Right.
And that he would memorize people's voicemail passwords. So, like, he called a big meeting with all those guys. I think it was, like, the first one that Devon was at, or either Devon or Bubba was at. And he was like, why am I here? And he took the phone and played the messages where, like, all these people were leaving all these messages trying to go to WCW with Todd Gordon. And I guess, like they said, the Bill Alfonso match with Beulah was what saved his job.
What saved, because Fonzie ended up snitching in the end.
Yeah.
Fonzie ended up snitching in the end, and the Beulah match is what did, in fact, save him. That's actually correct.
I mean, they kind of went over that, but I didn't know that Heyman was going into phones and memorizing the passwords.
Well, on the Paul Heyman DVD, the short version ends up being that he has the password to Todd Gordon's cell phone. That was always the short version of it. That was how it all started. But in terms of having other people's phones, that part I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
But I wonder what the relationship now is between Paul and Todd. I know they don't resent each other or have any ill feeling towards each other, but, I know that it was some time before they spoke.
Yeah.
For a while. And then, Todd did the Heyman DVD, so if nothing else, they should be cool with each other.
Yeah.
And then, Ron Buffone, which I never understood why he never ended up at Evolve or WWE or Ring of Honor when Gabe was there. Yeah, but it sounds like a great special. I definitely want to see it. I tried to see it a few times this week. So, let's see what happens. And then there's some just... ECW was a great time, man, and there's a lot of that stuff that's kind of missing.
Yeah.
That I wish we had,
Definitely.
So, yeah, overall, great week, quiet but great week, especially considering that, this was the fallout for Survivor Series week.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Raw, believe it or not, on Monday. I think one of the best things they did, was announce those matches so that Raw has some build to it, you know.
Well, they've been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah, I'm going to guess the girls are getting the main again.
Yeah.
Smart decision. Just going to guess that. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting time.
And next week we're going to be reviewing TLC because that's going to be next Sunday.
That's right.
So, I mean, we can go through the card.
Go ahead, shoot it to me, because
Yeah.
actually I'm not all that familiar with it. Go ahead.
As of now, Baron Corbin and Kalisto in the chairs match.
Okay, which I think is going to be actually really good.
Carmelo.
It'll be a better chair match than Jake Fury and Corrupt. I'm willing to say that.
I will say that too.
Yeah.
Carmella versus Nikki Bella in a no DQ match.
Okay.
Ziggler versus Miz in a ladder match.
Yep. Ziggler's match.
Alexa versus Becky in no stip as of yet.
Okay.
Maybe you think they'll make it a table match?
They got to get something. I would have loved for them to have the ladder, but I hope they get the tables match then. Screw it.
I guess we'll see what weapon they use this week. Ambrose versus AJ in a TLC match.
Right.
And then there's also Rhino and Heath versus the winners of American Alpha and the Wyatts. I'm guessing they're going to go with the Wyatts.
I don't think they're going to get a stipulation.
You don't think that match will get a stip?
I don't think they're getting a stip, and I think it'll be Ellsworth in the main event to make it a three-way to then plant the seeds for the Ellsworth-Ambrose feud.
You think it'll be a three-way? No.
I think
you think
Ellsworth
will
insert himself.
He'll request it?
Yep, I say either Ellsworth inserts himself and Shane agrees to it to fuck Ambrose.
He can. Oh, yeah, I didn't even think of that. Also, he just won the ladder match, so he can.
He's got a title shot.
He'll be confident that he can win another ladder match.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Because he also did come across a lot cockier this week on SmackDown as opposed to previous weeks where he's just like apologetic.
That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong.
Didn't think of that. Well, no, it's actually good. Like, I'm surprised I didn't think of that.
Yep.
Well, that's why you're here.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Yeah, that's one reason. That's where I'm at with that stuff. But it sounds like an awesome card.
I wonder if there's any more. Are there any more feuds going on SmackDown?
That I know of, that's all of them.
Okay.
I'm
guessing SmackDown will probably have. Well, that tag match they'll probably have Miz and Baron versus Dolph and Kalisto in a tag match.
Yep.
Well, they always do that. Trying to see what else. Maybe a tag match with the girls, or would that be like too much?
Oh, they could squeeze one in.
Nikki and Becky against Alexa and Carmella.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the debut of 205, so we'll have Rich Swann versus Brian Kendrick.
Oh, that I have to watch for sure. I am curious for that. That I have to watch, but I'm excited for next week. Raw sounds stacked. I know the going for SmackDown is going to keep you like, oh my god, I got to see it.
Yeah.
205 debuts, and then we got the TLC. It's a big week. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I am excited. Plus, big event. We're going to announce somebody Wednesday. Very excited for that.
Yeah.
So, if it's Mundo, I'm going to mark out. So. Yeah. So, quick question. If they want to follow us on social media, what would the people do?
Well, we're on Twitter and Instagram at For Life Podcast. That's IVLIFEPODCAST. I mean, if you're listening to us, then you see the spelling wherever you're listening.
Correct. And if people want to get one of those nifty For Life Podcast T-shirts, where would they go?
They can go to redbubble.com/people power. No people power, just people. /For Life Podcast, where we have a new ugly Christmas sweater, which I ordered, which it should be arriving this week. So I am going to wear that for all Christmas festivities this year.
Yeah.
But we also have the Shai Ellsworth shirt. We have the Bosch mode shirt, which I just wore yesterday.
That's right.
We also have a shirt with the cover of the podcast. We have our logo.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is that?
That's not on my end. My TV's on mute.
All I heard was ring.
Yeah, I heard it, but that's not on my end.
Wait, but I'm talking to you right here.
And also, this is my Cheyenne match of the week since this is the last week of November. I take you back now to Survivor Series 1989. But, actually, I don't think it's 89. Hold on, I'm actually going to give you the wrong date. Hold on, son of a bitch. 89 or 90. Hold on, let me look it up right now.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm actually mumbling so nobody hears the name. Hold on. Bear with me, people.
All right.
Yep, it is Survivor Series 1989. I recommend that everyone watch the classic Survivor Series matchup, the 2x4s versus the King's Court.
All right.
That's what I recommend to everybody. Cheyenne Ortiz's match of the week.
Sounds good to me.
I'm excited for this, yeah.
All right. And any other plugs I need? Facebook.com/4lifepodcast. YouTube.com/4lifepodcast. www.podcast. You're fucking me up, Cheyenne. www.4lifepodcast.com. Because when you listen to your podcast, you're listening to it.
You are listening to it for life.
Wait. We need to be in sync.
Yeah.
Come on. If Jericho and Kevin Owens can say all their shit in sync, like Roman Reigns or like what, we've been best friends longer than Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho.
This is true. They stole our act, yeah.
So we're gonna have to do this again. When you're listening to your podcast, you're listening to it.
You listen to it for
fucked up
life.
again.
No, I know. That was money. It's a good take.
When you're listening to your podcast, you're listening to it for
life. There you go.
Good enough.
That's